Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This video today is going to be for those of you who are on the strict elimination diet. It's very restrictive and it's very hard to get flavor sometimes, but there are a few ingredients that you can use on the strict elimination diet to give you food that actually tastes good. So I'm going to make a lemon noodle flavor thing. So here we've got some citric acid, salt, rice bran oil, and probably about like a quarter of a teaspoon of chopped garlic. Now I chop garlic up and portion it out into bags and freeze it so that it keeps it fresh. So what I do is I put a bit of oil in a small pan and saute the garlic until it starts, getting a little bit brown and you can start smelling the garlic come out. Now obviously if you can't handle garlic, you can just basically skip this step and do the rest of it without the garlic. Also you want to have your water on the boil so that you can easily put your noodles in there and add salt once it starts boiling. You may notice that I use a lot of salt. I cannot taste salt anymore, so don't blame me. So once it's cooked a bit, then you take it off the heat. Now you want to do this because when you add the water, which I'm about to get, you will get sprayed if you leave it on the heat. So you need to do this really quickly and be really careful because I have been burnt doing this before. I think I put in about half a cup or maybe a third of a cup of water. So that just turns into it's a sauce really. Then I add about a teaspoon of salt and then a teaspoon of citric acid. It really depends on what your taste is. This is very, if you don't really like super lemony stuff, then put less citric acid. You really got to play with it. I've usually just eyeball it. I don't usually measure it. I just dump it in because I don't mind sour tasting stuff, so I actually really like it. So mix it in and make sure that all the salt and the citric acid dissolves. Then you can leave it to simmer for a bit, just to get rid of some of the water that has been put on there. I find that the thin vermicelli, brown vermicelli in particular, works best with this, but those were just some pad thai rice noodles. Any rice noodles, in fact you can even do this with rice. So yeah, cook your noodles while your lemon sauce is simmering some of that stuff off. If you have any other food, cook that as well or bring it out to heat up like I have here. Or in fact, you can just have this on its own and it takes about 10 minutes, so really quick and easy to go to. If you can tolerate it and want to, you can put a small amount of chives into your simmering sauce as well. It just adds a little bit of extra different flavor, which also helps. You will also want to just taste test your sauce as you go. I just dip in the wooden spoon into the sauce and stir it around and pull it out and just touch it and then taste it. Because it's just me, I'm not too worried about germs. But, use a different finger if you lick your finger. If you're cooking this for a family or something. And you can see that I add some more salt and some more citric acid because I don't feel like it has enough flavor. And that might just be because of the amount of water that I've put in there. You can put less water, obviously. I usually just eyeball this stuff, so giving you some measurements to kind of go off and then you can experiment from there. And when you think that they're almost just about ready, pull them out and try and get it like spaghetti. I usually try and just get a piece and then try and pinch it between my nails, and if it breaks then it's ready. This particular one, you want it so that it's a little bit al dente, so it's not quite going to just break off if you grab it between your fingers, because you're going to put it into the sauce pot, so it'll cook a little bit more once you have taken it out. If your sauce is starting to spit at you or it's getting a bit thin, take it off the heat so it doesn't spit everywhere and cause you damage. What you can do is just extract a little bit of the starchy water there. That's optional later on. You can use it to add into your mix or not. It depends whether you want it a little bit gluggy or not. So you want to rinse your noodles so that most of the starch comes out. what I do is I dump the pot of noodles into my colander and then rinse it with hot water. Rinse it with hot water until the water starts running clear, and then you'll be ready to take it over to your sauce. Put your sauce on a low heat and then add your noodles into the pot. Now your sauce should be a little bit watery, so the noodles will absorb the flavour. If you want to, now is when you add in the little bit of starchy water. It's up to you. Try it out how it is to begin with. If you prefer it not starchy, then leave it out and don't bother with it. So just mix the noodles around so that it absorbs it up. Add a little bit of starch water and mix again. This is on a really low heat. Your pasta shouldn't be sticking to the bottom. I might also just mention that these are like non-stick pans. This is a non-stick pan that I'm using. And then once you're happy with the noodles and they're cooked, then you add them to your meal, or just to the bowl and eat it like how it is, because it does taste pretty good. I'd say it's the closest thing we could ever get to mee goreng type flavors, but I mean without the spice, but it's just sour. And of course, if you want sweet and sour, you can add sugar to that, but my gut doesn't like sugar, so if you just experiment with these things, you can actually have a really, really nice noodle dish. Like 2-minute noodles, except it takes 10 minutes instead of 2. But can't complain, because normally cooking takes longer on these kinds of diets, so, and you're all good. This is just an example of adding it to some brown rice. I just added the garlic, the oil, chives and the citric acid and salt into the water of the rice while it was boiling, and it actually came out tasting pretty good. It was lemon rice. It was nice. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope this has helped, and all the best with your strict elimination diet challenges. If you have any recipes that would help other people with EOE and who are on the strict elimination diet, feel free to leave them below so that we can share our ideas and how we can make our food taste better by being really creative with what we can use. I also have Instagram, so make sure you follow me there, and have a great day.